Hi, this tutorial will help guide you through lessons 4, 5, and 6 for just the facts, violin, and cello. I'll flip back and forth between the two books. So here's the violin book. Here are your note names on the D string. First finger is E, second finger F sharp, and third finger is G. Here we go. Here's the whole D scale. Here's D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. That's it. I just gave you all the answers. Here's something new for you. This is for cello and violin. So cello players, listen up. We have a little theoretical concept to understand, and that is the distance between two notes. So as you can see, this line note goes up to a space note, and this space note goes down to a line note. There is no other note in between. So we call that a step. Excuse me. We call that a step because it just goes from one note to the next note, either up or down. And that means you're just going to add a finger or take a finger off, something like that, going up and down one note at a time. If we are skipping one, here you're skipping a space note. We're going from a line note, skip the space note. That's what the little X is for, and going to the next line note. So that is a skip. And here's a skip going down. These are just examples for you. Now, they have names besides just skip and step. In addition to this just being a step, the theoretical term is that's an interval. An interval is the distance between two notes. So intervals are a very common theoretical fact that we all need to know as musicians. So if we're just going up from an A to a B, for example, we say 1, 2, that's a second. That's a second. If we are going from a note, skipping a note and going to the next note, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, we call that a third. So this is a third, this is a second. These are seconds here. So steps, if we're going up or down by a step, that's called a second. If we're going up a third or down a third, we're skipping. Those are called thirds. Okay. So that's the big new theoretical concept for you. This is a lot of review here for you. This is a lot from the previous lessons. Here's a listening thing. We'll do this in our lesson, so in rehearsals. So I'll be playing examples of going up by a step, which is like a scale, or skipping. Here you get to circle the card with the larger value. So this is like if you remember when you were a kid and you played a game called War, where you would put a card down and your friend would put a card down, and whichever one was the greatest one got to keep both the cards. So these two, that's why they say circle the card. Here's a quarter rest, which gets 1 count. Here's a half note, which gets 2 counts. So you're going to circle the card with the larger value so that 2 beats out 1. Okay, I'll do one more example. This is a whole note, gets 4 counts. Half note gets 2 counts. So the larger value is the one with 4. So you're going to circle it. And you go on that way. And don't forget that a dot adds a beat. So half note dot is 3 counts. Alrighty, let's see. On lesson 5, here are the notes on the E string. E, F sharp, G sharp, A. We have something new here. Sharps. This looks like a hashtag or a little tic-tac-toe. That's called a sharp, and that's called a flat. This is called a tie, and this is called a slur. Just get familiar with the terminology there, and we'll be using those in orchestra. Here you get to play a little game. Circle the correct musical sign for each name given. Dotted half note. Well, there's a half note with a dot after it, so that's the correct answer. This little section here in 4 is nice to remind you how many beats for the rests and the notes. And in lesson 6, we have the G string. Notes G, first finger, second finger, and third finger. And here is the G scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or you can put F sharp because we're usually playing an F sharp, so that's fine. Half steps and whole steps. So when two notes are right next to each other, when your fingers are right next to each other and there's no space for another finger in there, that's called a half step. And if there is a space between your fingers, like between 1 and 2, that is called a whole step. Okay, it's big. A whole step is big. A half step is little. And here's the term interval again. Name each interval. Oh, looks like they threw in a couple of hard ones for you. The new interval is the fourth. So here's the third that we did in the previous lesson. We have a note, we skipped a note, and we went up to the next note. Space, skip the line, up to the space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're upping it. Now here's a fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. The space note, the skipped line note, skip a space note, go up to a line note. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm giving you lots of answers today. Okay, so that is 4, 5, and 6 for violin. And just to go over the cello, here are the names of the notes on your cello. A is open A. First finger is B. Third finger is C sharp. Fourth finger is D. A, B, C sharp, D. So this is A, B, C sharp, D. This is open D, E, F sharp, G. So here's some new notes, maybe some old notes. Here's your second and third, just like I did with the violin. So going from a space note just up 1 to a line note, that's a second. 1, 2. We literally count the first starting note, we count the skipped note, and we count the ending note. So for this example, this is a C. We skip D, we go up to E. C, D, E is a third. So the answer is third. So if it's going up a third or down a third, this one is down a third. It doesn't matter if it's going up or down, it's a third. Okay, and this is basically the same as the violin page. And here's cello notes. Open G, first finger is A, third finger is B, fourth finger is C. Okay, so this is a lot of new information for you guys. So I'm not going to rush through lessons 4, 5, and 6 because there's a lot of information to digest. And some of this stuff we're not actually playing yet, so they'll get it in their brains without actually doing it with their fingers. Here's open C. Put finger 1 down, it's D. Finger 3 down, it's E. Finger 4, it's F. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That is a scale when you're going up by steps or seconds. And a half step is when your fingers are right next to each other. A whole step is when there is a space. So that's 2 ways to have a step, a whole step or a half step. And we have a lot more fun stuff to do. You can get your colors out. And that is lesson 6. So that is the end of this tutorial for today. Thank you.